Hello there.
Hello, boys. We're back. All right, guys. We're joined here by Sci-Fi Unchained, just like last time, and we're gonna be discussing episode 8 of the Bad Batch.
Yep. So, Sci-Fi Unchained. Want to start off, mate?
Easily my favorite episode in the past 3 or 4 episodes. And if you've heard my criticisms on here before or listened to my podcast channel, you'll understand why. The previous episodes were just kind of the adventure of the week. They were a little slow. They didn't give us too much in terms of plot or character development. This episode gives us that in spades. And not only does it do that, but it does it in a layered way. Any way you look at it, right? You're seeing the remnants of the clone army that was meant to, and who we hear Hunter explain to Rex, we're supposed to be protecting the citizens of the Republic. That's what we're made to do. We see the remnants of that very appropriately in a destroyed, downed Venator run through its wreckage, being chased by the Empire. And it's a nice little symbolic touch. You could look at it that way. The score accompanying that as well. Of course, we have Crosshair returning in this episode, like I thought he would. And his showdown between Hunter and the rest of the batch. Just what I predicted it would be. I mean, Crosshair knows the batch. He knows how Hunter and the rest of them think. So he's able to outmaneuver them and use his advantage of greater numbers. But easily my favorite part of the episode is Wrecker hitting that flamethrower guy in the face with a proton torpedo. Easily. No, of course it was Cad Bane. Cad Bane coming back. I mean, come on. I lost it. I jumped out of my bed. I was like, that's not Cad Bane. Look at it. Oh, it is Cad Bane. They've got Seth Green Robot in there. Maybe.
I would love to see that, but I doubt it.
Oh, damn. That's a show that's been cancelled for at least, what would you guys say? Has it been 9 years now, maybe?
A good long while.
Definitely. You know, the thing is, I think they actually said they actually have a season 1 finished already, right?
For Detours.
Yes.
Maybe. I've been seeing clips of it floating around, so it's a good possibility.
Yeah. I mean, they had season 1 finished like a long time ago, but like before they could release it, they canceled it, sadly. So
I see. So I was nerding out a little bit yesterday and tried to get a good buddy of mine into this Star Wars parody musical called Annie. It's done by a production company called Star Kid here in the States. And they're the same people that did, the Harry Potter musical. Go watch that musical. It's absolutely hilarious. The guy that they get to play Darth Vader is this Patrick Warburton kind of impersonator, and he's this fat schlub that gets in everybody's way. It's absolutely hilarious. Just had to give that a shout out. But I would definitely watch that as a nice comedic palate cleanser after a really heavy episode. Just a suggestion.
yeah, that could be kind of cool. All right, we actually have another guy joining us today, Iron Inquisitor. Welcome.
Hello. I actually just finished the episode.
Nice. So you're fresh out of it. What do you think about it?
It was really good. I really liked it.
What was your favorite part?
Oh, we'll probably talk about it.
Oh, I bet we will. Please
Oh,
do.
so you want to slide into it slowly, huh?
Yep.
Okay, should I get it on the screen? The episode?
Yeah, sure, man. Sure.
Let's do it.
Let's go for it.
Okay, let's go.
Do it.
Also,
now,
before we
Lord
start,
Vader.
I've noticed that a lot of people have been angry because of the way we named the title of this discussion. It's weird to me because everyone has already done it before, and for some reason we're to blame that we're spoiling things. But isn't the image the whole point of us doing this? Like we did in every single previous episode, like the highlight of the episode, we get the thumbnail and whatever, the title. But for some reason, this time it's a problem to people.
Man,
You know the thing is, like, just before we started, I actually checked on YouTube to check like what other people have done, and there's literally like 6 or 7 videos just on the first page with Cad Bane in the in the title and in the image.
Yeah, interesting. But the important part is that we get flack for it. That's what matters most, of course.
man, you
Hey.
you just got to stop reading the comments, dude.
It is the
Definitely.
internet. That's what happens. All right, let's go ahead and get into the episode.
Okay, yeah. Well, why not? Let's start with the beginning reunion. This very shot at first. We've already seen the exact same one in episode 3. Just so you know, guys, it's the exact same shot with the
Oh.
lightning. The lightning goes off at the end of the scene. Completely the same. They literally reused it.
No, it's okay to recycle.
True. Anyone have any thoughts on this?
I just love that transition. What they, from the start of the show to like what we have right now. Like every time you see Camino, it's always darker. I just love that.
The only problem is they can't make it even darker.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like so far, it's always been nighttime on Camino ever since the Empire took over.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. Okay. What I've noticed, I was really looking forward to seeing these. They're actually called Elite Squad Troopers, these gray ones or whatever. Completely new type, probably a predecessor to the Death Troopers. I'm kind of disappointed with their, well, how would I say it, action in the episodes generally. They're really not that impressive. Honestly, the regular clone troopers are better in my opinion. Just simply more
It
elite.
seemed that way to me as well. They just got crushed easily.
Well, think of why they're there, right? Like go back to the first episode where they get introduced when they're talking in their barracks or that med bay, whatever that was. The general consensus was pretty much, with the Empire, I get a roof over my head, I get food, I get pay. It's more than the Republic ever did for me. That speaks volumes to why they're there. I mean, they're not there to be this elite fighting force. They're there because they were slightly better than everybody else in their academy, and
And it pays well.
it pays well.
Yeah, but the thing is, aren't they supposed to be the elite ones? I mean, that's the whole point of that admiral who's pushing the recruits instead of cloning more clones.
Right. But if you're the cream of the crop amongst a bunch of turds, how good are you really? But if you're the best of the best amongst the best, right? Because the standard clone trooper is a pretty good soldier. That's what makes the Bad Batch so superior. Is Tarkin said in one of the previous episodes, they're better than an army. They're that the way for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Fair point. Yeah.
Also, I've noticed that in this episode, it's finally revealed who's actually after Omega. Like, also with Fennec Shand. I think they literally revealed that with sending another bounty hunter, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, if they said another, that means they said the first one as well.
Have you guys noticed how this Imperial Admiral, I can't remember, is it Rampart, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe it is.
Have you guys noticed how he's actually in charge here and not the Kaminoans, despite it being their facility and everything? I mean,
And
it seems like the Kaminoans don't even get a say in anything anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's China, and Camino is the U.S., where China has its hands lovingly wrapped around our throat, right? Because
That's a great comparison.
Because why are all of those stormtroopers there, like patrolling the halls? There's no practical reason for that. If Camino is in business with the Empire, then why are they occupying Camino?
Are they afraid of a rebellion?
I mean, they could be, but in a practical sense, what could Camino conceivably get away with under the Empire's nose, right? I mean, if they have Rampart there, his personal Star Destroyer, assumingly, right? His personal guard, they have Crosshair, they have all of these assets. Why do they need an army patrolling all of Camino?
You know, when you mentioned that, what comes to mind is if we would ever get to see the Camino uprising, how would the Kaminoans even pull it off? Like the regular clone troopers that are patrolling the corridors or whatever, who would they side with the literally the Empire? Let's say that their inhibitor chips wear off, because they do. They do technically in both EU and canon, despite the EU not really utilizing the chip that much, apart from the, season 6 of the Clone Wars. Like, who would they side with? And if the Kaminoans built as they call it in Battlefront 2, the anti-troopers, how would they hide them from the, let's say, regular Imperials?
Well, here's my theory. And I extrapolate this from everything that I know about like the EU novels and what happened in there. So what we know of in canon is Camino was partnered with Rothana Heavy Engineering and Kuat Drive Yards, right? So Rothana Heavy Engineering built all of the LAATs and the tanks, the artillery, everything like that was built by Rothana. And understandably so, because it's, just a couple parsecs away from Camino. My theory is they're going to go a couple of ways with it. They could use a clone virus that was kind of hinted at in the Clone Wars whenever the inhibitor chip first took hold of TUP. They could make use of all of the decommissioned separatist war material, because all of it was just turned off and sent to repurposing factories like on Corellia, which would make sense because we've already seen it, and that whole episode could just have been a hint to maybe something that the Kaminoans could use in the future. They could side with other species that were highly discriminated against, the hive species, the Moncals, and the all of those other factions, right? Or maybe they could have some other programming stuck away in the clones somewhere, and the phase 3 clones like Omega are just maybe supposed to be like a control node for the earlier generation of clones, and then they can control whoever they're around, maybe, and that's why Omega seems to be force sensitive or just highly intuitive. There's a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Those are some really good theories.
When it comes to Omega, I've been thinking, like, why is she so special? Why do the Kaminoans want her back that much? I mean, she's an enhanced clone as well, in a way. She has an XX chromosome since she's female. And what's so special about her? Why do they need her to do whatever they're planning to do?
Well, I guess we'll find out at the end of the season.
Eventually.
Yeah, I have no ideas.
We
Also,
have the power of cuteness on our side.
at this point, it seems like everything Disney does always has to have something cute, if you know what I mean. Like Baby Yoda, I mean Grogu, whatever. Now we have Omega. Although honestly, I like her as a character much more than Grogu. He's just there for the cute factor, nothing else.
Hmm.
Literally gives nothing in the episode. At least she's somewhat interesting and is
Yeah,
learning
she can
whatever.
have character growth and all that fun stuff.
Yeah,
Indeed.
gotta love the Hammerhead.
Dude, I would like to see some footage like inside the Hammerhead, you know?
Oh, that would
yeah.
be so sweet.
Imagine if they kept like this is obviously the Hammerhead Corvette, like the newest version of the Hammerheads, but still old. Imagine if they actually went into one of them and they were still using the old from the Knights of the Old Republic, that type of bridge, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like you enter from one corridor and go around the desks or the tables or control.
Yeah, there's
panels,
there's like control panels in the
to enter
middle.
the other side of the Ender Spa. That was a very weird design, but very awesome.
It was fitting, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Who wants first now? Another very nice moment between bro and
Mhm.
sister.
Yeah, I like how he lets her suck at things. Right? She's like, what do I do? Better get it right.
You know
Well,
what
it's
else
definitely
I've noticed?
one of the best ways to learn something.
Yeah, just keep
You know
failing.
what else I've noticed? I was never aware that Gregor was technically a specialist in explosives. He wasn't just a thug who loved explosions in general, but he knew a lot about it. Like, let's say he's probably like Scorch from Delta Squad, like the explosives and demolitions expert in the team.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I never even thought about until now. Tech would be Fixer from Delta Squad. Boss is obviously Hunter. And Crosshair would be Sev, right?
Yeah.
Since he's the sniper.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Mhm.
exactly that. But yeah, I always thought of him as the stereotypical tough guy of the team, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Not like he actually had any skill in the things he liked, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Yeah, this was an interesting sequence.
I love how he's enjoying this, like just watching her struggle.
Right.
Big bro. Okay, let's move on to the next. Nothing much to it, right?
Yeah.
I'm enjoying that this is all based in Braca, honestly.
Yeah.
Although
I
I wish we would see more heaps of junk in the background, like leftovers of some LAT gunships, starfighters, just like on Raxus Prime and The Force Unleashed.
yeah.
Like over there. Yeah, go on.
I do like that whenever the episode and this is consistent, I do like that whenever the episode starts, it's pretty much exactly where we left off. Right? There's no huge time jump.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah,
it's-
because the Clone Wars mostly did stuff like that.
You know, the cool thing about this would be if you threw it into an editing program and just removed the intro and outro from every episode, you could literally make like a big movie.
you could.
That's actually a very good idea.
Yeah.
I would actually love to see someone do that.
I'll do it.
lie.
Like they did
I'll
with
do
the
it.
2003 Clone Wars.
Yeah. Oh, did someone do that with those? Like back in the day?
Oh well, that's how they got released on DVD form, and because they were just 5 to 10 minute episodes.
Yeah, they were very short.
But
For some reason, there's not much of it. You literally have 2 hours in total of watch time.
yeah, and it's super fun. It's so much fun.
When you think about it, if we edited these episodes from let's say season 1 altogether without the time jumps and everything and make it a movie, it's not something you could do with Star Wars Rebels at all. Not really.
Yeah, Star Wars Rebels is a bit different, but still, it's enjoyable to me. Like I'm rewatching it again, and it's just been, I don't know, it's been pretty cool.
I got to finish Rebels. I stopped sometime in season 3.
No, you don't. You don't have to finish Rebels.
Did you see the ending of Darth Maul and Obi-Wan?
Oh, I did see that part because that was so big. I had to look up on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what matters. Honestly, that's an amazing ending for Maul. Like, it seems like Obi-Wan forgave him. And that's
I like the touch of having Obi-Wan kill him the same way that Maul killed Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yes.
Same move.
It's just very well thought through.
Yeah, every move was. That was really nice as well. And about Maul's ending, like, let's say they parted ways by Obi-Wan killing him in a way as friends, let's say, or allies, and not as enemies.
Yeah, I guess it all worked out for him in the end. I guess the hate was gone after all that, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that was definitely a perfect ending for him.
Okay, let's move on. Or actually, do you guys just want to talk about the most interesting parts of the episode? We don't have to cover literally everything, like every scene.
I'm down with whatever, man. Just keep skipping if you don't feel the need to talk about it.
I'll do it with my mouse, honestly. Also, we have more of those uniforms from Jedi Fallen Order that Cal Kestis has. That's literally it.
Yeah, nice. I guess they all have like ponchos, just like Cal.
It's got to be really hot.
Think
it is what it is.
Imagine how hot it is in the armor.
Oh my!
This is another favorite part. Wrecker's like, "Don't worry, I got this."
I seriously thought that he would have pulled it down and held it at first.
At first, I thought that he was going to fly off with it. I was really surprised that he was able to keep it on the ground. I mean, how heavy is he? Like, is he half a ton of muscle or whatever? Honestly, it surprised me. And also, the Echo's shot was very precise. I guess that's why the clones are clones, if you know what I mean. Yeah, there's the shot. Also, can you see the guy? He actually fell off. I immediately thought that he was a goner, but it seems that they picked him up. If you can see here at the end on the ledge.
Yeah.
Oh, Logan had to go, huh?
No, actually, he's there we go. He just fell out.
Yeah, just fell out. Just derped for a second. Yeah, there's how much Wrecker actually weighs, and then there's how much the armor actually weighs. Because between the two, I think that's a good 500 to 600 pounds.
You know, it's funny. It's funny when an American uses pounds. I'm like, what? Because I literally have no idea how much that is. Like 200 kilograms, something like that. I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
No, I was just making a joke out of it, honestly.
I don't think the armor is that heavy, though.
Yeah, but what I've definitely noticed at the end, when Hunter gets shot, it's obvious that they have much better armor with their Catan class commando armor than the regular clones.
Yes,
that's definite. Okay, just gonna skip this part.
Well, you know, the thing is, like, it would be ashamed if the Geonosians, like, went through all that trouble to genetically modify them and then not give them enough protection after all that work. You know, that's why they gave him the best armor they could. I love this moment when he just comes into the, the storage room and just pulls one of these babies out. Like,
hello,
this one is
beautiful.
This one is all mine.
Big
that was
baby.
awesome.
Yeah,
Well, he
yeah, it
did
really
put it-
was.
He did put it to good use in the later on in the episode.
That's true. I thought Tech was was going to say, "You just threw a proton torpedo at a flamethrower."
Yeah, I actually thought that as well. Like he literally threw it at a flamethrower.
I was like,
And it-
"This, it didn't explode. You're
I
so
was
lucky."
sure it was going to make an explosion or something.
Nah, bro, he knew what he was doing.
Honestly, due to how useless the elite squad troopers are, I wish that they simply wiped them all out because I expected more. And he just threw a proton torpedo at it.
Yeah, most of the regs got killed. I'm pretty sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely, because they're the they're expendable now in the Empire, not like the Plo Koon, not to me scene, you know.
Not to me.
Yeah, honestly, Wrecker is becoming my favorite one of the Bad Batch, definitely. Just simply because of the humor and the
Yeah, he's just a
And this-
likable guy, I guess.
He really is. He's relatable. He likes food. He likes having fun.
He likes to blow things up.
and he likes these babies.
I very much enjoy them making Wrecker the center of like the comedic bits of the show. They make him this big fun teddy bear, Uncle Wrecker kind of character. And then they've also shown us the flip side of that coin where he becomes an absolute like
Monster. Terminator.
murderous monster.
Yeah. Do you guys remember the mini controversy that went on with Echo's helmet? Like how he puts it on.
Yeah.
Like someone literally released that clip when he puts it on in the first episode of Ord Mantell with the slavers.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say the least interesting one, by my opinion, at least. Over there, you clearly see that his helmet seems much more advanced than their ones. Like a Transformers type. How it moves into position and everything by itself.
I'd say it would kind of have to be.
I actually thought that he slides it on from the front, but he did put it on like a regular, helmet.
I like how
Kinda... Yeah, just go.
I like how it fits around his implant.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it seem like a full helmet.
Yes.
I'm curious. Why did he even have an implant? Like he could use his robotic arm even without it in the Clone Wars.
Maybe it helps him like regulate all of the other mechanical parts put into his body.
Could be.
Maybe.
Honestly, I'm looking forward to him getting some other things on his arm. I also saw some toys that were coming out of about regarding Echo, and there are many different types of arms that he can have in the toy series.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. I do also think it's a nice little callback to Lando's second-hand man on Cloud City.
Oh,
yeah.
Lobot. Yeah.
Yeah, Lobot.
Definitely. I also remember in Star Wars Rebels there was an episode where this random info ship or whatever it was had these guys with these implants in the back of their heads.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
remember there was an
Lobot.
episode in season 1. There was a Rhodian who had one.
Mm-hmm. And I think in season 2 you have one as well where a full ship of these guys are simply monitoring stuff or whatever. And one guy has actual glasses.
Yeah.
If you remember that.
In a universe where technological advancements are just so, they still have to have glasses.
Yeah, true.
It's weird.
Okay, I think we're now coming up to the fun part.
What kind of intel do you think they're going to pull from the Venator's mainframe?
I don't know. Did they say anything specific?
Nope.
Do you guys remember?
They never did.
Yeah.
I think it's all going to depend on it, because they did identify it as a Jedi cruiser. My question is, which Jedi was it?
What if it's Cal Kestis and
Maybe.
Mhm.
Oh,
I
that
mean,
would
we're
be
in
a really
Barca.
cool connection.
although the thing, oh yeah, yeah, that would actually be possible because if you guys remember in Jedi Fallen Order when the cruiser blew up after Cal went into the escape pod,
Mm-hmm.
so it could very possibly be that it would be a cool. Well, it wouldn't be a callback, more of a future Easter egg on what will happen. Oh no, yeah, actually, it would be a nice callback on Jedi Fallen Order if they simply just mentioned which master served here, Jedi General and battalion or whatever.
Right.
That could be cool. All right, just to stop you for a second, we actually have another guy joining. Task Force Mando, welcome.
Hello.
Hey,
So, how's it going?
yeah, it's going good.
Nice. So, what do you think about the episode?
It's a good episode. It's not as good as the last one, but it's still a pretty good one.
Also, man, do you want to simply tell us about your Star Wars fan project that you're making for everyone to hear it?
All right, sure. So my guy that I created is clone trooper during the Clone Wars. He's ARC trooper, advanced recon commando, and he basically the story follows him from the beginning of the Clone Wars and. Well, at least part one does. It's from the beginning of the Clone Wars to the end of it. And working on part 2 right now. And once that's finished up, there will be a part 3, but I don't know when I'll be able to get to that. So,
Where can people read that if you have any links or something that we can put in?
right now I'm trying to set up that link. But if they want to hear about it, they can just go to my Discord page and ask me for a copy that way, and I can send it to them.
Cool.
Okay, we'll put it in the description just for
All
everyone
right.
to know. Okay. Anyway,
Alrighty.
want to move on with the episode?
Yeah, definitely. Let's go for it.
Who wants to start off with the interesting part when the new class shuttles arrive to Braca?
Well, they look pretty Empire-ish.
Yeah, they literally changed the color already. Like
Mhm.
immediately in the first episode, if I remember correctly, it went from red to gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, right off the bat.
Yeah, so they're immediately that. Also, I think this is another reused shot from the third or first episode.
Possibly.
Just so you know, guys. Just like the first scene in this episode, which is also reused from the third episode.
Yeah, it looks familiar. So
Yeah. Although I guess it's okay. Most people won't even notice it. Okay. Can't remember what happened here specifically. Oh yeah, they talked about the bounty hunters. Any thoughts on that?
Well,
I think
you go.
I think they hired more than what I think they hired more than just Fennec Shan and Cad Bane, because if they have enough cash to shell out for those two, they probably have enough of a war chest to shell out for Bosk and Dengar and Embo and all these really high priced bounty hunters. So my earlier prediction could come true in that we may see Boba Fett somewhere along the way.
Yeah,
I think
kind
it
of going off
would be a
with
waste. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
kind of like going off what he said is that they, to me, I kind of agree with him in saying that there's definitely more bounty hunters out there just than Fennec Shan and Cad Bane. There's got to be more out there.
Although I think it's an interesting thing is why do they want her so much? Do you have any theories? We already covered this, but you won't hear it yet.
Maybe
so-
something special in our DNA, but we'll see.
Definitely something
Okay.
that they want because they're so desperate to send obviously 2 bounty hunters after her, and there might be more. So there's definitely something about her that they desperately need her back.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that Cad Bane worked during the Clone Wars. He only worked for the Separatists, and suddenly he's working for, well, technically the Empire, but if you know what I mean.
Well, maybe
With-
because the Republic never needed to hire him in the first place, right?
Yeah, true, but the thing is, I mean, the Kaminoans really must want Omega due to hiring the best bounty hunter in the galaxy. And if I remember, you remember the episodes with Darth Sidious when he hired him to enter the Jedi Temple in the Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, over there, that was a hefty sum. Like, he got a brand new ship, tons of credits, anything he wanted. So he's not a cheap bounty hunter.
Yeah, well, he's pretty good at his job, so
Yeah,
he can definitely up the price.
I really want there to be a scene where Cad Bane has to fight Crosshair and they do a toothpick off and just start flicking toothpicks at each other. I'm more edgy. No, son, I'm more edgy.
Technically, now we have 2 Clint Eastwoods in a single episode of Star Wars.
With a really good Western showdown moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even the
Yeah, well,
music is fitting as well.
That was probably one of my favorite scenes in the episode.
Also, have you guys noticed that the music is literally the same, almost the same theme, just slightly changed to a more standoff type, as when we first see Cad Bane infiltrating the Senate building. Like in the very first episode he appears in season 1.
They even have his dialogue kind of mimic that Senate infiltration scene where he's like, son, I wouldn't be so hasty if I were you.
Yes.
Did you guys know that originally in the Clone Wars they were gonna put in Dirge instead of Cad Bane?
Ooh.
Yeah, and Dirge was gonna be made a human because animating the whole like muscle thing we saw would have been way too hard.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm glad they went this way because they didn't ruin Dirge as what's his alien type? Can't remember the name of it.
It's a Jedi.
Oh, that lives 5,000 years or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting because even at the time, the Clone Wars had really advanced animations in comparison to any other series that existed at the time. But I guess it was simply too much for a Dirge type character.
Yeah, it's just not worth it, I guess.
Yeah, it would have went over budget trying to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Could you guys have ever imagined that we would take a Duros so seriously? Ever?
No, not when we saw them in episode 4.
Definitely.
When they're just going.
Yeah, that's literally the sound.
But it is my time, guys. I gotta get out of here and get back to work.
Yeah, glad to have had you, mate.
But
Definitely, man. It was a pleasure.
I'll
Take
leave.
care, man.
I'll leave you with this interesting thought. Crosshair now looks like a cross between Dengar and kind of messed up Star Killer with that breathing apparatus he has to have. I think he's going to get some new kind of armor to kind of mimic Vader to help him with his ion engine inflicted wounds. And that might mess with his inhibitor chip a little bit, giving the batch an opportunity to save him.
Possibly.
Maybe.
Could be.
Because
You
he
know,
did.
also kind of like I'm kind of thinking what he said on that is I think of what's that one guy's name from the Eternal Empire who's like half cyborg, half human. That's where I kind of get the vibe too. If he ends up like that, then we're like,
Yeah, one of the brothers.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But until next time, guys, I'll see you all later. But for now, live long and prosper, and may the Force be with us all.
All right, man. Well, have a good one.
See ya. Okay, let's move on. That's very interesting. Like immediately when I saw him get wounded, I thought that he was gonna have something on his face or maybe have his face burnt out. That was my first thought when the Iron Engine shot him.
And plus, like when he fell back, because of the pressure of the engine, he really smacked his head pretty good. So maybe that infects his inhibitor chip as well. Just like Wrecker did when he got smacked in the head.
It
Yeah,
just knocked the sense out of him and just kind of stopped him out and just be realizing, what am I doing now?
Exactly.
And also, he might have gotten eye damage too, because he also did try to cover, his eyes.
Yeah.
they literally could have evaporated if the engine fell a bit lower.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in this episode, I think there were 2 times that I thought that one of the main characters might get killed. With Hunter and with Crosshair with this. I mean, even in the last episode, for a moment, I thought that Wrecker wasn't going to wake up after removing the inhibitor chip. Although, thank God they didn't do that. I mean, it's the first season. It would really be stupid to remove one member already.
I don't think I would kill anyone, like even in the second season.
Maybe leave it for the last one.
Yeah, just leave. Like if you got to take somebody away, just take one member away in the last possible season, and that's it.
Also, when we're on that topic, if one member can survive, which one should it be at the end of the series?
I kind of have a feeling like if they're going to kill someone, they're probably going to kill Tech and Wrecker. But then again, we'll see. Hopefully we don't see that.
Yeah, I'd be pretty sad.
For some reason, I think that that the first one to go is going to be Crosshair. Like maybe in some redemption scene when he's back to normal, he sacrifices himself to,
I think that's what's going to happen with him too.
And
although I think
even at the end of the season, I think we'll get to see that. So what do you think about like the damage she received? Do you think we're going to see like a continuation of that in the next episode, or do you think they're going to wait with it?
Honestly, I really hope that we're going to see him immediately, but I doubt it because, I mean, ever since episode 3, it's been 5 episodes and we haven't seen the Imperial side of anything ever since we saw him become a commander,
Kind of disappointing.
So this is, I don't know, is season 1 going to have 16 episodes as they said it was? Or did they change that to 14 or 12? Because I've been hearing stuff lately.
I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But the thing is, they really do have a tendency to leave us hanging when it comes to the Empire parts.
Yeah, yet they have so much potential. You could literally bring in any clone that we've seen before or haven't seen or from the movies, and it'll make it much more interesting. Although my best guess is, as always, we're probably going to see Cody. He's the one who introduced us to the Bad Batch in the Clone Wars and even in the unfinished episodes 6 years ago. So I'm guessing he's going to be someone who's going to be looking for him as well.
Well,
do you guys
apparently
that.
Possibly. And as I said in the previous streams, I would really like to see Cody. That's definitely one of the clones I really want to see in the Bad Batch.
Yeah, technically Cody's part of the Empire at this point, so.
Do you guys think that we're going to see more Empire stuff in the second half of the season? Someone said in the comments in the chat that it's definitely going to be 16 episodes. So, are we going to see more of the Empire side, or are we going to have more fillers?
I hope so.
I think that they have to up their game, at least in the second half of the season, to make it, more interesting. Because
the thing is that, like, just look at it from their perspective. It's easier to do a filler than to do a cool story.
True. Although Clone Wars never felt like a filler. Did it feel?
Yeah, that is true. But then again, it had George Lucas and Dave Filoni working on it at the same time.
Do you guys think that they may be a bit more lazy now with this series than they were before?
Maybe.
Possibly.
It's
It
definitely
is
not childish
possible.
though, like the Rebels is.
Definitely not.
It's ironic how it's ironic how much I enjoyed Rebels overall, like watching it from start to finish. I'm actually
Yeah, I
gonna
don't-
rewatch it fully now.
Yeah,
once again.
I'm doing that. Like I started like 2 days ago and I'm on maybe episode 10 of season 1. And it's been good so far. Like I enjoy it. Even though like I really do see the childish moments that people are talking about.
Mhm.
It's definitely present, but at the same time I don't really mind. I just love watching it.
Yeah,
So,
at
yeah.
some point I'm gonna do a rewatch and maybe review. We'll see. And you know, Rebels also had, or at least it seemed to have a much smaller animation budget compared to even later Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is definitely a different style, but
Yeah.
I think it's very soothing to the Rebels.
Honestly, I mean, this style is definitely better than Rebels, and
Indeed.
Rebels does have a lot of childish stuff and everything, and I also don't mind it because what I like about Rebels, it, by my opinion, at least for the most part, it didn't disrespect any part of the expanded universe or generally Star Wars. Maybe Thrawn could have been handled better, and a
I
few
definitely
things.
agree on Thrawn.
Yeah, he could have been handled a bit better, and some things could have been. It had much more potential. Like for example, we didn't see Cody, yet I know that they had Cody in
And plan,
yeah to put him in there, but we didn't see him and other things which could have been very cool, but sadly didn't get to finish it.
You know, the thing is, like, now that you talk about Thrawn, what I remember is they really did choose a really good voice actor for him. So that's definitely spot on. So I don't really have an issue with Thrawn as much as I do with his bodyguard, Ruck.
Oh yeah, that was
Oh,
garbage.
Rock creeped me out.
Yeah.
What do we used to call him? Like a little.
I don't know what I used to call him, but it's definitely freaking annoying.
He just wouldn't die.
Yeah, and I was so glad when he finally died.
But with
Maybe it
Rebels
sounds
for
a bit
me,
strange, but
it's like I rewatched it like twice, and it's like it got good after season 2. It's like for me, it's like the reason why I loved it was because of Thrawn. But so the thing that bothered me the most was how skinny the lightsabers were. That was the thing that bothered me the most about it.
I heard that the reason why they did that is because they wanted to pay homage to the original trilogy. Because in A New Hope, if you look at the lightsabers, they're actually kind of thin.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did
that's
do that.
exactly what they wanted to do.
It's interesting. Rebels used a whole lot of unused Ralph McQuarrie art. Like for example, the Lothal Scout Troopers, the helmet design is literally from Ralph McQuarrie's art. And what's interesting as well is that they use the same concept art for Star Wars: The Old Republic troopers in the MMORPG. The same design of the helmets and the cadets as well. And also, I remember they used the design for the TIE fighters. They made the wings a bit shorter, just like from the concept art as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it was
And-
definitely intentional.
Also, one thing I've noticed with the TIE fighters is they like widened the actual hull of the TIE fighter, or maybe it seems that way because the wings are shorter. I don't really know. Like,
Yeah, it
if
is
they
because
wa-
they
yeah.
shorted.
yeah.
But
All right, let's
I
go
think-
ahead and go on with the episode.
Yeah, I'd say that the highlights of Rebels in general would be the ending of Darth Maul's story,
Oh
Mhm.
the Vader episodes,
yeah. Oh.
and my personal favorite would be that in season 3, episode 5, I think it is, when Rex is reliving the Clone Wars, when they find that Walker Hulk Poor
Yeah,
ship
there's like a
crashed.
few surviving.
Yeah, with
droids. That was a
Kalani.
really cool episode.
I think that is literally my favorite episode because when it came out, it was so nostalgic for a Clone Wars fan like me.
Mm-hmm.
They even used the Clone Wars music at the beginning.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like they even have the music in and everything.
And the Rebels logo was done in the Clone Wars style at the beginning as well, which was
Mhm.
really cool.
Yeah.
Great homage to the Clone Wars, even back then. Yeah, I think we should get back to the Bad Batch. What do you guys think?
Yep.
We briefly covered this at the beginning, but yeah, Crosshair knows them better than they know themselves
Mm-hmm.
in a way, but they found a way since they're the Bad Batch. Bombad Batch. I don't know why it was that funny so much, but it is.
It is the Bombad Batch, or the Sad Batch, if you want to call it.
Yeah. This was really interesting. I think that we only saw this room in the Venator like 2 times in total. For a brief moment in Revenge of the Sith,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
And when it explodes and the clone trooper flies off with the
Mm-hmm.
torpedoes.
Mm-hmm.
As well as the Wilhelm scream.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yes. That's
And
pretty funny.
also-
Like a clone explodes and flies off in episode 3, and then in this episode, one actually flies out of the Venator as well. Actually, 2 clones when Wrecker throws them out.
Yeah. Although I think that we actually saw this in the droid episodes in the Clone Wars after Gregor, Clone Commander Gregor helps him, you know.
Uh huh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
they
ring
have
just
some-
explode at the meeting.
Yeah.
Although the thing is, I'm gonna be honest, I actually prefer the Separatist cannons over to the Republic cannons because the thing is, it's just because of the sound at first, and then
when it
second
pops
thing
out
is
one of the
yes, when the shell pops out, that's freaking awesome.
we saw that in the that episode 1 of season 2 of the Clone Wars with Cad Bane when they
Uh-huh.
board the ship with the ATTs on top, magnetic
Let's
legs.
make
and
this a
everything.
bit more interesting.
yeah, that scene. They
I
actually
also
fight.
remember in the Revenge of the Sith video game, there's a part where you're on, the invisible hand, and you actually get to shoot one of those cannons.
And the torpedo pops out, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It's been a while since I played the game, but I'm so sure it does that.
That was really nice. I've been trying to find. I never played the. Actually, I played Revenge of the Sith once on the PlayStation 2 back in the day at a friend's house, but never again. I've been trying to find it if maybe someone made a mod for it or something for PC. Want to find it, download it, and finally play it like a man, but can't. Seem
There's
to do it.
also it was also on the original Xbox as well.
Mm-hmm.
That was the best version to play.
Also, someone commented the Dad Batch.
Yes, that's what I actually call the series, the Dad Batch.
Because each
Too
of them
bad.
basically act like a family member. It's like Hunter's really the father figure. Then you have Echo and Tech are basically the brothers, and Wrecker's the fun uncle everyone wants to be around.
Too bad the Uncle Batch doesn't fit so well.
Just
The-
don't get him angry.
I'm just going through the through the comments. The Flag Batch, the Gay Batch, the Meme Batch,
The Flag Batch. The
the
Shonen
Shonen
Batch.
Batch. I don't know what that is. Yeah, keep him coming. Maybe although I think the Bombad Batch is the one. The
Yeah,
joke
that is-
batch.
That is definitely
Yeah, that's the best one. Dad Batch is
Mhm.
second best for me.
I think wherever you add Bombad, it's immediately a meme and funny. So yeah, okay, let's move on.
Risa have a grand army.
We submit you, Bombad General.
General.
Also, guys, I really love the sound when the torpedo fires and it hits crosshair. It's really satisfying sound. Probably the one of the most satisfying next to the wait, what do you call them? Damn.
Seismic
Todd,
charges.
remind me of the most satisfying sound in
just
all
said
of
it.
Star Wars.
I just
Seismic
said it.
charge.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Yay, I started the Bombad batch. Jar Jar is definitely overhated.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you guys agree?
I agree
Yeah.
so
Yep.
much.
Someone just going through the comments a bit, so yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's move on. Have anything to add to this? Nothing much, just a simple action scene, a new plan or whatever.
Yeah. Not much. While you're skipping through these scenes, I just want to say next to the what's it called? Next to the seismic charge, I also favor the TL50 sound when it goes full auto, as well as the what's it called? Thermal imploder.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, the thermal importer from Battlefront. A very
Yes.
satisfying one.
Yes.
Although, you know which one I love as well? The
Hmm?
LA-2 gunship when it flies past.
Yes. That is a very iconic sound.
One sound that
Let's-
kind of made me kind of cringe a little bit is when Darth Sidious is fighting Maul and Savage. His lightsaber sound almost sounds a little bit cool at the same time. He's just kind of that crackling, whooshing. If you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I do.
It made you cringe.
Yeah, it's just like how it sounded, just like just hearing that, just like, if I had a lightsaber sounding like that, I don't know.
You know, I've been under the impression that Savage Opress's lightsaber sound sometimes as if it was roaring. You know when Darth Maul pulls the lightsaber before the fight with Pre Vizsla, when he roars at him, it somehow always felt like that in the duel. Very sharp sounds, if you know what I mean. I don't know, but it was different, definitely. Although, honestly, that duel with Sidious and Maul and Savage was absolutely amazing,
Mm-hmm.
if you ask me.
I love how at the very start of the duel, he just cuts the floor immediately.
His
Yeah,
lightsaber blades are just too long, just start dragging on the floor.
It seems like a very destructive lightsaber style, and it suits him because he's, after all, the puppet master. And
yeah, but then again, like if you had a lightsaber, like I don't know about you, man, but I would definitely do that.
yeah, I'd cut anything, literally.
Yes.
Imagine
Accidentally cut
in
yourself.
Revenge of the Sith, we saw him use both of the blades at once against Mace Windu.
You know, when I watched that for the first time, I was so I was amazed, of course, with the entire scene and the entire episode. It's one of my favorite episodes. But when I that sound when he pulls out the lightsabers, for some reason the Force they used a different sound for the Force, like a very. If you guys played Star Wars: The Old Republic and the Sith Lords, they have these abilities like is it Force Roar or something like that. Sith Warrior specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And when he pulls out the lightsaber, it has some type of roar in it, which is so menacing and amazing.
Yes, it's definitely soothing for Palpatine.
Also, guys, what's with everyone saying that spoilers about this episode? I don't get it, honestly, because in every other stream, no one complained at all about anything, but for some reason, this one specifically, everyone feels like it's spoiled.
I
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's okay.
It's not specifically something so, let's say, mind-blowing to a degree, like, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But okay,
It's not like freaking Sidious showed up or something.
Yeah, I mean, it never happened before, but we did we're working this the same way we did the first 7 episodes, so I don't understand the difference. But,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we always put the what's it called,
The
highlight
highlight.
over the episode in the in the image. Yeah,
Yeah, the
just,
thing is, if you put the destroyed Venators in the background, no one would click. If we're going to be honest, so
it's just good old YouTube. All right, let's let's just keep it going.
yeah.
And you can see Omega being pretty good with the bow in this episode, which is pretty cool.
He's her
She's
first
improving.
confirmed kill.
Yeah, almost the second one as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think she used it already on Corellia.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Also, what I like about these Brock episodes is in the last one. Remember, Rex talked about this being the first generation of the Venator. You know, I think it was the first time that they, like, on screen, apart from the games, like on screen in a TV show or a movie, they actually mentioned the full name of a Venator class Star Destroyer. And this time, they kind of got into some details on how the engines work and everything, which was really interesting to me, at least. I always liked that part of the lore of the vehicles and stuff.
And I was kind of like thinking too that when Crosshair gets burned by the engine, to me it's like if he was at full complete power, he would have been incinerated, but it's only at small capacity. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as the cool thing about it is it's only one engine. You know.
Mm-hmm.
It was overall an interesting idea to do this in this episode. And it very much reminds me of, you know, when you're going through the wreckage of another Venator in Jedi Fallen Order.
Yes.
Was it on... What was the planet, actually? Zepho.
Ooh,
Yeah, I think
it's
it
on
was Zepho.
Baraka.
I'm trying to remember. It was the
Zepho. It was in
Zepho.
Zepho.
Yes, yeah.
That was so good. That was basically an Easter egg filled part of the game. Like, the main missions never take you there to explore the Venator, but you can go freely, and it's so good. It was really enjoyable.
That's like half of it is underwater.
And then there's some parts of it that kind of work. There's like the doors that are going.
Yeah.
That's
Some
cool.
of the
That's cool
elevators.
detail.
And also, what was a good part of the game was when Cal Kestis can see some, let's say, flashbacks of what happened through the Force.
Oh, so psychometry or whatever it's called.
Force echoes, I think.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
simple variants.
And also in that particular area where the Venator is, you can actually see an Arc 170 as well, like at the very start of the area.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
The
there's
crashed
a
one.
there's an Arc 170, and then over on Kashyyyk there's some
LAAT.
like LAATs in the water, which is also pretty cool. And like on Bracca, when you're starting the game, like you can tell right off the bat that they reused the model from Battlefront 2 for the LAATs, as well as the clone helmets lying on the ground.
Yeah, why make it go to waste?
Definitely, man. I mean, it's a pretty good model, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bad Batch, like this episode and the one before it, I really appreciate the Hammerhead, but it needs more starfighters, gunships, crashed ones, shuttles. You know, parts that we can identify when we see them. Like, for example, one of
But
the
then again,
bunkers,
maybe this is just that part of the planet where it's just like Venators, you know? And it's not that crowded yet, like it is in, Jedi Fallen Order.
isn't it? You think?
Yeah. Yeah, because in Jedi Fallen Order, like it takes place like what is it, like a few years after this, right?
5 years, 14
Yeah,
people.
5
died.
years after this. So they
That's
had
right.
5 years time to, fill up the planet with garbage.
Oh yeah, they also have the separatist ones. Then
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the thing is, like, maybe they pulled the big stuff in first, and then they, it all depends.
it's so good.
because I remember in Fallen Order when they got Lucre Hulk in, he acted like, "Oh yeah, that's rare. Like all the stuff, big stuff was first, and so later on, it's rare for stuff like that to show up."
Mm-hmm.
That was really good that they. I really like that character, the friend of Cal Kestis. Too bad they, killed him off like after the first mission.
Too quickly.
Yes.
Seemed like a nice
cool.
character. Okay. Okay, now we have the other interesting part as well. I actually expected the engine to be a bit bigger.
Maybe it's
Just
one
like-
of the smaller engines.
Oh yeah, it has plenty.
Because you
Could
do
be.
have because you do have the 4 big ones, and then you got the smaller ones as well. I'm pretty sure there's like 3 sizes of engines on the Venator. So this is either the smallest one or the middle one. It all depends. I'm not really sure which one is it. I got a model kit over there, so I'm gonna have to look that up.
I really think that in this episode, they really did a good job of showing us how well Crosshair knows them, because I'm guessing due to the destruction of the Venator, they could have gotten out of the ship from any part of it, literally.
Mhm.
But every time Crosshair knew exactly where they were going
Yeah.
and what they were doing. And when you look at it, this was a very good trap on his part. If they go this way, they get shot down by a sniper rifle. Although on the other hand, they get incinerated. So
Either way, you're still going to get them.
Yeah. They just have to choose the lesser of 2 evils, right?
Mhm.
yeah, but we already knew that the Bad Batch was going to come out of it somehow.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Okay, now we have this part. So if I remember correctly, let's see. They literally cut off a part of the engine, right?
Yeah.
These guys fell with it, and the remaining part simply just went into Crosshair. But what I don't understand is, wouldn't the iron engine still fry Crosshair and his guys over there, even if this didn't fall off?
Well, like I said earlier, it probably wasn't at full power. It's only at minimum power, so.
Yeah, but even if it wasn't on full power, it did this to them, and the angle was going straight at them anyway, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Who knows? But yeah, he's definitely going to have some injuries on his face, which would be interesting for the future episodes. Yeah.
Maybe a new helmet to compensate for what happened to his face.
Mhm.
And then
I have like a respirator to keep him alive,
Yeah.
probably.
and I'm pretty sure I saw his leg get screwed up as well.
Hmm. I have a cybernetic leg.
Why not? Maybe his eye. I think I noticed that his eye was very red, like the left
Uh-huh.
one.
Yeah, and later on I think he had a bandage over it, so
Yeah.
he's
Okay,
definitely
now
gonna need some
comes the most.
adjustments.
Oh, here he is.
Yeah,
Okay, let's
yeah.
see. Didn't really get any nice angles here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we come to the most interesting part.
Oh, my favorite part.
The moment Cad Bane started talking, I started geeking out. That's like, he's
I was
finally
like,
the
here.
yes! One of the coolest TCW characters.
Let's be fair. Who's the greatest bounty hunter in the galaxy? In the episodes 1 to 6 era, let's say, in the movies, and, in between them. What do you guys think? Jango Fett or Cad Bane or Boba?
Oh, that's
That's a tough one.
very tough.
Oh shit, I forgot about Dirge. Let's just eliminate Dirge because he's literally unkillable. He will take the win anytime. He's too OP, basically. Let's just say I think the Boba is a bit less skilled than Django, honestly, but still very.
Yeah. He
What do you
gets
guys think?
good over time, like later on if you look at the
Mhm.
the comics and everything. Like when he fights Darth
True.
Vader and everything.
Where Boba Fett lacks a skill, he gains by reputation, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, he fights against Darth Vader in one of those comics and almost
Mhm.
defeats him in a way.
Yes.
That's impressive.
But
Most impressive.
what's even
Yeah.
more interesting there, by my opinion, is that Vader doesn't seek revenge against him even after almost being killed by him, or the other way around. none of them seek revenge against the other. He just seems to gain even more respect for him, and then he utilizes his skills later in the movies,
Yeah.
which is really weird for Vader.
But then again, at the same time, it's pretty smart.
It's pretty. I mean, he respects him. That's what it shows me, at least there.
Yeah. And he
Although-
realizes the potential, so that's why he uses him later on.
Use the skills.
Yeah.
Although Cad Bane or Jango Fett, who's better? Jango Fett kills 6 Jedi with his bare hands on Galdran, literally with his hands. And then we have Cad Bane, who's a total badass against anyone or anything.
Yeah, but then again, he didn't kill 6 Jedi with his bare hands, so I'm going to have to go with Jango Fett.
Oh, I'm so split. Yeah, I'd probably choose Django.
How about to go Django as well?
Yeah. It's really nice that he knew him as well. They knew each other.
Mhm.
That's what I like about it.
Mhm.
Like, even if it's off screen, we know that. Oh yeah, I think this is a big topic right here now. You know that unfinished scene when Boba duels against Cad Bane?
Against Cad Bane and gets
It was
the
supposed
dent,
to be in
yes.
season 7 of the Clone Wars originally, or maybe even definitely season 7 if Disney never bought it.
Mhm.
They said that it was considered as canon in their canon timeline, even though I don't give a shit about their timeline. But they said it was, canon. What does that mean now? Did it happen in the Clone Wars? Like, the deleted scene is considered as if it happened. Boba got his dent on his helmet, and now this is simply Cad Bane recovering.
Mhm.
Or did they simply retcon it and are going to do it in the Bad Batch, maybe eventually?
Maybe. But then again, like, it is you didn't really see Cad Bane die in the unfinished episode.
You didn't. True. We don't know that. We never knew that.
So
We
Yeah.
just saw him lying
if it
down.
did actually happen in canon, could have survived.
Yeah.
Yeah, if someone can survive it, it's definitely him.
His
Like,
hidden trick up his sleeve probably has extra armor underneath.
Yeah.
also, I actually thought that Cad Bane died in season 2. Remember the episode when we're fooled by when Danal, the clone troop of the 501st, shoots Cad Bane and he falls off like the ledge when they're boarding the shuttle to escape the doomed vessel.
Mhm.
You guys remember that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I always wondered, how did Cad Bane how did he make the clone trooper seem like it was him when he shot him? Like, completely changed their armor so quickly as well. If you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
Like, at that point, I thought that Cad Bane was already gone and a bit disappointed because he was like the new. They put him in the trailers and everything for season 2 of the Clone Wars. That was back in 2009, but really fooled me. But if he can survive something like that and be in a Jedi in a Venator class Star Destroyer and escape in the middle of all the Jedi and everything, I mean,
Yeah,
he's a
that is
huge
pretty
Jedi.
impressive. That's
Very impressive
for
for
sure.
Bounty
Yeah.
Hunter, I'd say. I don't know. Is the Bounty Hunter arc that was never finished? Is it canon now, by their standards? Let's say.
I don't even know anymore.
I don't
And
know.
to be honest, I don't really care.
I mean,
When
consider
it comes to the new canon, I don't really care about continuity that much. Like, if it's a good story, that's all that matters to me.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I only deal in headcanon and just add things that I like to it. So far, Bad Batch is really doing it, but I'm curious about the scene. Like, I'm definitely considering that Cad Bane gave Boba his dent. Why not?
Mhm. Yeah.
Although, I'd be happy to see that arc play out in the Bad Batch. Although, my only problem with it would be it was supposed to be like a 4-episode arc, right? Or something like
Yeah.
that. And
Well,
the
if-
Clone Wars did these independent stories. Like, if they did it here, it would have to involve the Bad Batch. Which kind of, I don't know how that will work.
Maybe hard to do.
Yeah, that was the good part about the Clone Wars, because they literally had freedom to tackle any story, any character, create new ones, and it will work every time. It was a very interesting series in regards to that. It didn't go in chronological order at all, which is fine as far as I'm concerned. Random episodes here and there, and it was an amazing series.
It was indeed. What I would like to know, though, is when Cad Bane changed into the clone armor, how did he put his elongated head into the clone helmet? Can he shrink?
He just did. And you know what's also interesting? When he shot down Denal, the clone trooper, I remember his name. He was featured in a few episodes, so when he shot him down, he was literally clothed as a Cad Bane with his hat and everything. And Cad Bane escaped in clone trooper arm at the end. But in the next episode, he has his old hat and everything with him, you know. But I remember when Cad Bane was in prison, and when he got out, he didn't have the exact same hat anymore, and it was a big deal when he killed one of the bounty hunters. You know, the box arc when they were trying to kidnap the Chancellor. The bounty hunters went into the arena of sorts. He killed some random bounty hunters to get a hat. Like, it was a big deal of finding a good hat.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of when Jack Sparrow was trying to find a good hat, you know.
No, that ain't it.
Once again, we got to see Hondo. And we
we definitely got to see Hondo at least.
Hondo's a much. He appeared in Rebels. He must be a guest here.
Yeah, he literally must appear here as well to make the circle complete.
I mean, if they pulled off Cad Bane, they got to pull off Hondo.
Definitely. Oh, here he is.
Oh, look at him. Look at that walk.
Clint Eastwood, basically.
And he's still got his little droid from back in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, Seth Green voices him, the guy who made Robot Chicken, and you know what comes to mind when I think of him? You know the video when George Lucas throws out some guy out of the office for saying,
"I am not the creator of Mara Jade.
Yeah,
and I want you to get out of this office now."
Is that a skit? Like, I know it wasn't serious, you know.
Yeah,
it was so good. I mean, I was trying to dig out more information on that. Like, what happened? When did they make it? Why? Is there more of it? You know? But I can't seem to find anything. No links to anything. No info on why, how. Who even released that?
It's just one of those YouTube gold mines.
Yeah, literally. You know what's also a gold mine? When... You know that video when a random guy is filming a documentary, you know, walking in the streets, and suddenly George Lucas walks by behind them.
And just looks at the camera.
Yeah, and the cameraman simply shifts it towards George while they were filming. That's so out of place.
Like, ooh, George.
George is awesome. I've noticed here this is definitely a new design for Cad Bane. For the most part. I don't know if the helmet seems to be a different one than the latest one he had. Although I'm not sure if I prefer the his first outfit with the long leather jacket. That really looked cool, but I'm not sure if this tops that with the armor and the vest he has. Really looks like a Mexican standoff type.
But then again, I really do prefer the coat that he had back in the Clone
I like that look too.
I think it goes so well with the hat.
I think Cad Bane's worst look was after he escaped from prison. It seemed the most hollow. Like, he wasn't whole without his original hat and the...
Yes, bald. It was basically bald Cad Bane. Ugh.
Yeah, that's how he felt, in a way. But still, he was a badass. He got a hold of Anakin, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but then again...
Almost caught him. So that's a big deal. The droid's name is Toto. I just remembered. So yeah. Were you guys surprised by this? Like the outcome here? Or was it expected?
I was
Uh,
expecting that.
Yeah, I kind of felt he would lose because I mean he's going up against one of the best bounty hunters in the galaxy. So
The
What do you
fastest
think,
gun in
Mando?
the West.
Basically, the outcome of it is like I was kind of expected Cad Bane to win, but at the same time, it's almost kind of the opposite of how it played out between him and Boba Fett. Just like, well, I lost against Boba Fett, but I'm not going to lose this time.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting what he said about the clones. Although when he said it, you're thinking like Hunter is no regular clone. Technically, he would be considered one of the most skilled clones.
Not skilled enough, apparently.
Well, it's Cad Bane after all. And even the music here. Did we say this in the chat? The music was literally a reformed version of the hostage crisis theme when Cad Bane arrived for the first time in the Clone Wars series, when they're escaping from the Senate building. It's literally the same theme, just reworked a bit for this scene. You guys can check it out. It's a really nice Easter egg for the first time he appears in season 1 of the Clone Wars.
All right, just before we go on, I just want to say, The Arbiter, thanks for the €2, man. Episodes are finally getting good. Cheers. Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with that. They're pretty freaking cool. I love them. And hopefully they just get even cooler.
Yeah, I completely agree.
You know,
Thanks a lot, man.
I really hope they keep Cad Bane for, a couple more episodes.
They definitely will.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sure.
especially since they have to get Omega back.
Yeah.
This feels a lot like The Mandalorian for some reason.
You take away the kid and you have to go get him back.
It kind of, I mean, if The Mandalorian didn't exist, which I would be fine with completely, I don't care about it, but somehow the storyline feels cheap with that part. Although overall, this era of Star Wars is much more deep than the era in which the Mandalorian is based in, like after Episode 6 is. So,
That's
I don't
true.
think characters have much better motivations, and the factions are much better known. Like you have the Kaminoans now as an independent faction in comparison to the Imperials and everything. So, it's a much better known overall story of the galaxy in this part. Well,
And the thing is, to be honest, I think the very end of the season, I think we're going to see the Camino uprising. Like it's all leading up to that, like what they're doing with with the Mega and wanting to make some clones and whatever. I'm pretty sure the ending of this season is going to be the Camino uprising, which will be pretty cool to see.
I want to see that so much.
Because they didn't hit their contingency, so that's probably leading up to that.
Maybe it's a Camino uprising of sorts. Maybe because I like to think of the, when Tamara Morrison is narrating the Battlefront campaign, what did he say about the Camino uprising? It never happened. It never really happened. As they said. So
according to Disney, it never happened.
Well, according to Disney, yeah, it didn't. But according to records, it never happened. Even though the 501st was there and everything, and if I remember correctly, it happened in 14. Was it 14 BBY or 15? Something like that, or maybe it was 12 for some reason.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it's Disney we're talking about here, so they don't really consider the Battlefront 2 game as canon. So
yeah, I know that, but what I'm hoping for is that if they do a Camino uprising of sorts, they don't take away the possibility of the uprising happening again, deeming the EU,
Okay, yeah, the Camino uprising in Legends happened in 12 BBY. I just looked it
12.
up.
Yeah. They said it was 20 years after they were created. the clone army, and they were created in 32 BBY. So, when I
Yeah.
talk about these things, I'm talking more headcanon, like my hopes and dreams or whatever. The only way I enjoy Star Wars, which is why I'm trying to mix it up. But I really hope to see the Camino Uprising, and who knows? I'm guessing they're gonna make it much different than what we saw before.
Mm-hmm.
With
One of the ways to fix it, well, not really fix, but to end the Camino Uprising is like after the battle and after everything settles down, like there's a final scene in season 1 where the Kaminoans just go and say like, well, let's just go ahead and prepare a mini army if there's ever a next one or something like that.
Yeah, maybe they make secret the anti-troopers, as they call them in Battlefront. Maybe they simply prepared in some different facilities on Camino, or as far as I know, Camino even has some underwater cities, right?
Yes.
It could, for sure.
Which would be a cool nod to the events that happened in Battlefront. Too. I'd love that. Although I doubt they were going to do it, but I'd absolutely love that. Make 2 uprisings that officially never happened, if you know.
Pretty much.
Oh, here he is, the badass. I never could have imagined that people would be so hyped and happy to see Cad Bane out of everyone.
I never expected him to show up at all. That was the biggest surprise to me with this episode.
True. In a way, it was. Although, when was the last time we saw Cad Bane truly, apart from the unfinished episode with Boba?
I think I could be wrong, but I think it might have been the episode with where Quinlan Voss and Obi-Wan were doing something with Zero the Hutt. Maybe.
Zero. Oh no, that was season 3. Season 3, episode 9. I know them all by heart. That's how much I watched the Clone Wars back in the day. The last time, I think at least, that we saw him was season 4 with the when he's working Reiko Hardin arc, if we're gonna call it that way.
Oh yeah,
and he's caught again by the Republic at the end. Was that the last time?
Possibly.
It might have been. Because I'm more familiar with the earlier seasons of Clone Wars. Because I watched those more times than the later ones for some reason.
Yeah. Well, me too, because
Clone Wars.
I watched the Clone Wars since the first episode came out. So yeah, I had much more time to watch the first few seasons than the latest ones.
I watched the first season of Clone Wars all the way through. As soon as I got to the second season, and I stopped watching it. And after, I think when it was released on Netflix, I watched all the seasons to see what I missed and kind of rewatched it over and over again. It's like, probably the episodes I watched the most was the Citadel arc and Umbar arc were probably the episodes I watched the most.
Yeah, they were freaking amazing, honestly.
Some of the best of the series.
Although the inhibitor chip arc was mind-blowing at the time, I remember.
Beginning of season 6.
It really solved a lot of problems, at least from my perspective, on why the clones would ever do such a thing. In
just snap and turn against their Jedi. It's like, why would you do that?
Yeah, overall, it was some amazing
one of my favorite lines in Star Wars now. Good soldiers follow orders. Good soldiers follow orders.
Yeah, it is. When you think of it, if you want, we've seen the clones form really amazing friendships with the Jedi during the Clone Wars, the series overall. And before seeing the arc, it was really unthinkable that Rex would suddenly obey an order, if he still has free will or whatever, obey such an order and try and kill Ahsoka, Anakin,
You know what the inhibitor chips also sort of explained to me?
Yep.
I remember even in Legends, it seems like right after Order 66, like all the clones just became dicks. Like I remember there's some sort of scene where they're talking and they were just like mean to everyone after that.
Yeah.
It was weird.
The inhibitor chip is probably the perfect solution to the problem. Honestly,
Yeah,
it makes
Mhm.
complete sense with everything. Then,
because the thing
And-
is that could even justify the behavior after Order 66. Like maybe it is the side effect of the inhibitor chip.
I mean, we've seen it in the Bad Batch in the first episode. I think we've mentioned this in almost every episode review discussion we had. When Tech is asking the clones what is happening, they simply shove him aside. In the first
Mhm.
episode here, and you can see the difference on how they're acting. They're simply more strict and just thinking about their orders. Well, the guys who aren't under the inhibitor chip in the cafeteria are simply having fun, making fun of him or whatever.
Mhm.
Really shows the difference, I think, at least.
Yeah, and they even go ahead to explain that in the Bad Batch to say that the inhibitor chip is, for controlling, making them more obedient. And they
Yeah,
even amplify that on Crosshair.
Mhm.
yeah, that was a new part of lore, let's say, and honestly, a
Mhm.
welcome one.
Yeah, because I didn't know the inhibitor chip could be amplified.
Yeah.
Well, now we do.
Recently, I rewatched the episode with Captain Keely and Ryloth
Mhm.
and Jedi General I'm a Gundai.
Master Die. Oh,
And saw this comment. Someone said, "Too bad I'm a Gundai didn't survive until I'm gonna live arrived to the battle." General, I'm gonna live. That was such a good one. But I think that was one of the best examples in the Clone Wars. You see these guys half the episode, which means 10 minutes, because divided to two parts of the story in the episode. You get them for 10 minutes, and you can already see how well they were made, like how they fight together. Their last stand says a lot about them. And then thinking that Keely, if he survived until Order 66, would simply turn on his Jedi General, while you see such loyalty to him. When he's shot down, he gets up. I'm not finished yet, General. We can do this, or whatever.
Mhm.
That was so awesome. Get goosebumps every time I see that.
Mhm.
Ooh, yes.
But I think the clone that had the best last stand was Commander Thorin.
Yeah. Although I'd say Thorn and Keely, definitely. These two had the best endings of them all.
Mhm.
And what's even awesome, I'm a Gundai. He even says, then let's make the end memorable while they're fighting. And then he'll get shot down and he fights on or whatever. That was so good.
That he is.
10 minutes of screen time fully, and they made you care about him. Let's hope this series can top that in any way, shape, or form.
We'll see. They do have a lot of time to make that happen
Mhm.
if they do some things right.
Okay, so who shot who first? It was Bane, obviously, right?
Mhm.
I was the whole time I was thinking, like, did Hunter shoot the droid on purpose, or was that an accident after he was shot?
I'm pretty sure he's aim moved, after Bane shot
I
him.
think so too.
Because he did get him in the chest, and that moved him to the left while the droid was on the left side.
Yeah. For a moment, I thought that the leg of the droid was going to have some sort of repercussions for the Bad Batch. Like, in the sense, it would help him track Bane in some way. Maybe it's a special medal or whatever. Who knows? But if I remember, the droid picked it up, his
Mhm.
leg, and went with it. So no, that was just me daydreaming.
Yeah, that was just you hoping.
Yeah. Did he shoot him already? Oh,
Yeah, there we go.
wait. Just gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
Hunter
is.
got hit first, and it altered his aim to hit the droid.
Cat Bane really looks badass with the shoulder pads. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The only thing he's missing is his coat.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the
If he
long
had the
trench coat. And one
if
thing
he
I've
got-
noticed as well is he actually has a shorter hat this time as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the longer one was honestly better.
Mm-hmm. Especially with the coat.
Yeah, I still think I prefer the first look that he ever had. Although this is the second best, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
The third one was felt empty.
Imagine if they made him look like Clint Eastwood, just kind of have it draped on one side.
That would be cool.
I always wondered, these tubes that went to his face. Like even when when he took the clone armor, he had them. I don't know how he actually didn't have them then. I'm not sure actually.
Well, then again, is it necessary for those tubes to go in?
Yeah, I don't know what they're for.
I remember. I think he had them so he could survive in like low oxygen places in case he needed to.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, are they connected to his lungs or throat or something like beneath, or what?
Oh, not really
Could
sure.
be.
Yeah.
Honestly, for a moment, I thought that Hunter was gone. I expected maybe the Bad Batch to arrive or something, but this was
Yeah, this was one of those darker moments in the series.
yeah. I also remember Cat Bane doesn't have a problem with kidnapping children, like the Force-sensitive kids. He
Uh-huh.
did.
Yeah, it's definitely not as
Yeah, the Gungan and the Rodian he kidnapped.
Mm-hmm.
Although I certainly didn't expect this.
Is that a second gun he pulled on her, or is it the same that he shot? What's it called? Hunter with.
It's the same one.
Yeah, it's the same one. His iconic. What is that? I don't know what blasted that is. Oh, nonetheless, yeah, we have this guy. He's screwed basically. For a moment here, does this armor remind you of the Covert Ops clones?
Yeah, it kind of
that
does.
we used? Because it's not simply gray anymore. It seems like it was damaged by the heat or something like that. Melted maybe even. Or am I seeing that wrong? Like the other one? No, the other one is irregular actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely melted. I'd say. Maybe it's, I don't know.
Or maybe just camo on the armor.
I mean, they did have it, but it was never seen this way. Here, it really reminds me of the purple vised guys, Covert Ops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh
there we
yeah,
go.
one of his eyes is definitely all.
Yeah, it's a bit red.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
he's
also
pretty
kind of
screwed up.
like with the oxygen mask he has on, if it's a little bit bigger, it almost looks like Darth Malgus's respirator almost.
Or yeah, or even
Yeah,
like
it does.
the regular random Sith acolytes or whatever that you fight in KOTOR
Mm-hmm.
when they
Yeah,
have
they
the
do have the
respirator-
mask.
What?
Yeah, they do have the mask.
Yeah, they have that small respirator thing and the hood usually.
Mm-hmm.
Are those the same guys who are like, Lord Malak was most displeased when he heard you
Yeah.
escaped Terrace alive.
Yeah, definitely.
He promised a great reward for whoever brings you in, or something along that line.
Yeah, you find them on every single planet you visit in KOTOR. Yeah, he's fine, actually. You can see him pissed. Okay, this is probably one of the most awesome scenes in this episode. I really wasn't expecting we would ever see anything like this, but I'm hoping we see it again.
First person view, just
Oh,
Yeah.
that was giving me so much Republic Commando vibes there.
That's
I
what I
was
was
about to say
thinking too.
It's ironic. I played Republic Commando for the first time like 2 weeks ago.
Oh wow.
I've had it on my computer for like 5 years, and never just came to playing it. You know, I knew the story somewhat, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it finally. And yeah, this was so cool. Although it did remind me of Doom for some reason. You know that sequence in the Doom movie, first person. The movie people hate usually with The Rock.
Oh, that one. I've never seen it. Huh.
Yeah, there's a similar I mean, it's not a similar sequence, but they start fighting from a first person perspective, which was nice, but just got vibes from that in a way.
Hmm.
But yeah, in regards to Republic Commando, this was so good.
Yeah, they knew exactly what they were doing with that scene. They just wanted to give you a bit of nostalgia for the Republic Commando.
Mhm.
Because after all, like in the beginning of the stream, I think we said that these guys really do remind us of the what's it called? The Republic Commando guys.
Yeah, especially with the roles. That's
Mhm.
definitely
Yeah.
Republic Commando was definitely an inspiration in a way. I mean, if I remember correctly, I watched how the Republic Commando was made, behind the scenes stuff, and they were basically coming up with designs and whatnot. I know that George Lucas was asked or whatever as well, and well, you know what we got: Fixer, Scorch, Sev, and Boss. And I know that when the Bad Batch was being created and designed, like almost 10 years ago now, George Lucas really wanted them to be stereotypical clones. Like Hunter is definitely inspired by Rambo or whatever. And you know the other guys. You have the thug, you have the smartass, which is Tech. But it's really, I mean, can you imagine the Bad Batch and the Delta Squad together in an episode, for example? Because both of them are technically canon by Disney standards, which might make it possible for
Mhm.
us to see them.
Mhm.
And they have the same types of specialists in the team. The sniper, actually, they're missing the sniper, the crosshair now, which would be
Mhm.
Seb.
Yeah.
Although technically Sev is missing in action at this point.
Yeah,
After
on
Kashyyyk.
Kashyyyk.
Yeah, so yeah, it would be cool. It would be cool to see him together in an episode or something like that. Clone Wars really could have used more clone commandos, definitely, especially Delta Squad.
For
Mhm.
sure.
Well, they did appear once.
Yeah, they did, which was obvious fan service, and I loved it. But
Because I learned just recently that Dave Filoni's favorite Star Wars game is Republic Commandos, and that's why you put him in Clone Wars, because he's a big fan of the game.
yeah, honestly, the game is a bit short. You know, you get about 5 or 6 hours play. Maybe
Mhm.
if it's your first time, you get about 7, maybe.
Man, it really could have benefited from a sequel.
Imperial Commando.
Definitely. Showing their side of
Yeah, that was
after
such
the
a
Clone
wasted
Wars.
opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting, did all of the clone commandos who became Imperial commandos, then they all became part of the 501st Legion for some reason, right?
I believe
I'm not really
so.
sure about that.
Yeah, I don't know either, but you know, 501st were the best of the best. So
Yeah, I was doing a bit of digging when I did the Trident Squad research for the video that me and Todd did, so it
Mhm.
seemed that way that they're all 501st. But yeah, I'd say that this is it on the episode, guys. This is overall thoughts when I do something for the finishing.
it was really good. It wasn't as good as last week's, but it was still pretty good.
In what way was last week's better?
You know, I really liked the whole thing with Wrecker, you know, and them getting the inhibitor chip out.
Yeah, that was really
Yeah.
cool.
There's a
And
lot of
Rex.
development right there.
What about you, Mando? Any thoughts overall?
Overall, this episode was good, but still not as good as last week's, but still a good one. I really liked how Cad Bane showed up, and that was probably my favorite cameo so far in the entire series.
Yeah, that is of
It's like-
course until Hondo shows up.
Honda shows up, everyone's gonna be freaking out. It's like, okay, now we're good. Eventually, I could see Hondo showing up because it's Dave Filoni. He's gonna okay, I'll put him in.
Yeah.
You know, I'd be disappointed if we don't see Hondo in this series. I really would.
Like
You-
even if like he just shows up for a filler, to give him a quick job and then they do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm usually bored with fillers. Like I didn't like the Odd Mantel one with the slavers. I think that's my least favorite episode so far
Mhm.
of these, but it was still decent in a way.
Yeah.
But if they did a filler with Hondo, it's not a filler for me anymore. That's how high. That's how I hold Hondo to a very high regard. So it's not a filler for me then.
I
Such a
just
good
like
character.
how Hondo, he's just there to make money. He's just like, oh, I'm just here to do business. As soon as trouble starts, he's like, okay, I'm gone.
What are some of Hondo's best jokes?
I can say probably
Insolence!
in Rebels that when he's talking to Kane, he's like, you don't have to be so blind for see this. Oh wait, sorry. He says again, like, I knew you see things. Sorry again.
The ones I love the most is split the treasure. That's a classic.
Split the treasure.
Or insolent. We're pirates. We don't even know what it means. Open fire. That was so good.
Or when he rescues the Jedi younglings in the Ahsoka from Grievous, he's just talking to Kenobi. He's like, the thanklessness. I am gone. I'll sing you my bill.
Yeah, like Hondo tried to kidnap the younglings and everything and profit from it, but in the end, he's like the hero. They know it's bullshit, but they go with it anyway because it's Hondo.
It's like they can't lock him up because you just find a way to get out.
True. The thing is, he's like he was technically half a villain in that arc with the younglings,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. Even Anakin do it against him on Felucia. One time he's like the hero, the next time he's a villain. They did it perfectly with him. You never know what to expect from him. But
And I always like how he stood up to Count Dooku, he stood up to Darth Maul, he stood up to General Grievous, and he's still alive. It's like most
Yes.
people will be dead right off the bat, and yet he stood up to all three of them, and it's like, I'm still living.
Yeah, he probably every time he was captured, he probably told them, "This is the day that you will always remember that you almost caught Hondo Naka."
Exactly.
I think that he deserves some awesome Pirates of the Caribbean memes. Like that's got to be the best pirate I've ever seen.
He's
Yeah.
basically the Jack Sparrow of Star Wars. Basically, that's how I see Hondo.
Definitely.
That's a very accurate description. Yes.
Like if someone made a meme of he's the best pirate I've ever seen, what would you guys show? Maybe when he's watching the circus and throwing stuff at the at the at the jugglers or whatever, drinking or something. Yeah, honestly, it's always fun talking about him. But anyway, I think that this would be it on the live stream. What do you guys think? Is this it? Anything
Yeah.
to add?
I actually got to go eat some food now.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. This was a really fun episode, and I think this was the time that we didn't talk too much about other things apart from the Bad Batch. Like every time we
we
off
stray
course.
from the path. Yeah.
I don't know, because the Star Wars galaxy is so connected in general that you always find something else to talk about.
Definitely. And the thing is, like, The only thing I hated about this episode is that now you got to wait another week until
Yeah,
you
because
get
it's a cliffhanger. You're like, ugh.
So what's
like,
gonna
don't
happen
end it now. Just keep it
Like, that's
going.
the end of the season. Just like, wait, what?
You know what, guys? This is half the season now. If there's 16 episodes,
Yeah, yeah.
I hope that you all go all the way.
the thing is,
with
most
16.
series make a pause between the mid-season finale, like a month or something.
I wouldn't want
Are we-
that. That's
are
for
we
sure.
sure
That'd be
that
too
we're not
much
getting
of a
a-
wait.
Oh man.
The thing is, I'm not sure if we're gonna have to wait longer, or maybe they're gonna skip a week or something, which would really suck. But
Mhm.
I remember they did that a few times with Rebels.
they actually did it every time with Rebels, I think.
Yeah.
Did
Like,
they?
yeah, after
They
the 10th.
did.
Damn.
Although,
Well, hopefully they don't do it with this. I just wanna keep going.
I'm actually gonna check the dates, and I'm really hoping to see it next week and simply keep it going as it is right now, because I'm guessing the second half of the season is gonna be much better, like much more Imperial side and close calls and stuff like that.
Mhm.
You know what would suck really with the next episode? Imagine if when they make you wait a month, you're expecting it to immediately go off with where you left off with the last episode. I remember Arrow did this like years ago when Ra's al Ghul apparently kills Oliver Queen or whatever,
And you
flings
wait
him off the
months
cliff,
and months.
and then the next episode, there's nothing about what happened there, and only on the last minute of the episode shows him that he survived, and that's where it ends. You know that bullshit that they do with TV series like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Makes you wait another week. I would really hate it if that happened here. I'd be pissed off if they put a filler next episode.
Which
Just
they
some
probably
random
will.
story, just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're probably gonna do is just like see people's reactions up to this episode, and they're gonna go like, "Oh, people actually enjoyed it. Well, now's the time for a filler."
Although if it's
Please
a filler,
no.
if it's a filler with Hondo, I'm game.
Yeah, I'm all down for that.
Hondo
I'm
would
all-
redeem it. Yes.
If it's a Hondo filler, we're good. Anything else, then I'll kind of draw a blank for that.
Have you guys noticed since Disney took Star Wars how fans are usually throwing random ideas of what series or movies they should make? Like, do a Boba Fett movie, a Han Solo movie, a Lando movie, or whatever TV series. I usually found that to be a bit, not stupid. I wouldn't call it that at all. I mean, it's all wishful thinking when you look at it. We would all love to get awesome content with every one of those characters. But it's just felt like too Marvel to me and too much for Star Wars, because it would lose its weight, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it seemed at
Mhm.
first they wanted to go in that direction, with Rogue One and Solo and all that. They wanted it to make Star Wars into like MCU, like pump out so many films and stuff. But that's really hard to do with Star Wars.
Yeah, it's simply not a universe that works that way, in my opinion, too much.
Especially when you have like so many other mediums that is like canon
Like
within the
games.
same universe.
Games are very underappreciated now in regards to Star Wars, underused in regards to telling
Mhm.
stories, if you ask me.
Mhm.
Although I'm gonna do this one time. Me and Todd never did this. We never do this series, do that. Sure, we have some good ideas we would like to see, which are never gonna happen, like a KOTOR series. Although it will take a shit on the original KOTOR, which is a no-no for me. But if we were gonna ask for anything ever as fans, do a Hondo anything. A movie, a animated series, a game, just do Hondo anything.
Yes.
Yes, and also give us a Gungan game where we fight with the Bombad General.
Well, the
You
closest
rise
thing
to
we
the
got
rank.
to that is Galactic Battlegrounds, where you can play as the Gungans.
Yeah,
Or even the original Battlefront 2 on hot mode, you could play as Gungans. But you go
Oh, yeah,
up
yeah.
against super battle droids, and that's kind of an unfair advantage.
I always loved in the first Battlefront game how when you're on Tatooine, there are 3 factions. Like even the Tusken Raiders fight against both of you.
Yeah, and then there was the Sarlacc. pit,
Even the
which
Jawas
basically
too.
grab
Jawas got
anything.
involved.
Yeah.
So I missed that with the original ones. Is that you had the third-party factions that just jump in there. It's like, especially on Endor, I hated the Ewoks because they were so hard to kill, and yet when you die, you have like 5 or 6 spears stuck inside of you. And you get hit by a rock, and you go flying 20 feet.
And they would go, "Ow!" Ah!
Good impression.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and end this over here. I want to thank you guys for joining the stream and for talking about the episode. And I hope to do this next time as well. And I want to thank everyone who's watching, and we'll hope to see you next time. All right, guys,
Yeah.
have a good one.
All right,
And may
good
the
night.
force be with you.
Bye.